disassembling and reassembling Homelite Classic 180. The same process also applies to the Homelite XL and many of the Homelite Super 2s. We're going to be replacing the carburetor, diaphragm, and gasket set, fuel lines, fuel filters, and oil pickup filter on this chainsaw. First, remove your handguard. Then remove the 7/16 bar nut. There'll also be a flat washer and a bar plate. Then you can remove your bar and chain. Now remove your muffler guard. There will be 4 Phillips head screws here. Now remove your muffler bolt. And the muffler. Now would be a good time to check your spark arrestor screen since you have it out. And this one appears to be fairly clean. If that was dirty, you could burn off the excess carbon with a lighter or a torch. Now remove your spark plug with a 5/8 spark plug socket. Now with a T25 Torx screwdriver, remove the 4 recoil housing bolts located here, 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 and down here. Once you have the 4 recoil housing bolts removed, you can remove the starter assembly. Next, with a T25, remove the engine mounting bolts located here, here, and on top, here, and here. As you're removing these T25 screws, which you can also do with a flat blade screwdriver because Homelite gives you a slot to remove them, take note that the 2 on bottom of the saw and the 2 on top of the saw have a fine machine thread, unlike the recoils, which have a coarse thread. That's because the top and bottom 2 screws go into the aluminum casing of the engine, whereas the recoil starter goes into the plastic housing. Next, remove the plastic carb cover. Once the carb cover is removed, you can remove the fuel tank and the bar oil tank. Now that you have the tanks removed, remove the Phillips head screw holding the bar oil adjustment knob. Once you've inspected the O-ring on the knob, you can then clean the entire assembly and place them back together. On the back of the assembly, there are two pegs. The lower one is the hose coming from the reservoir tank. The uppermost one is the hose going to where the lubricant lubricates the bar. Take note of the position of the lines on the oil reservoir. The bottommost hose goes to the knob on the side of the saw. The uppermost hose attaches to the top of the carburetor. Using a small flathead screwdriver, pry up on the electrical switch. Taking a marker or a paint pen, mark one of the wires so that you remember its location. The wire with the black mark will be the front wire on this switch. That way the switch operates as it is intended when you reassemble it. Now, with a good pair of needle nose pliers, reach in and remove the throttle linkage from the trigger mechanism. Now you're ready to remove the entire power assembly. Simply grab the case and the engine and pull sideways. Now that you have the assembly separated, you can take the engine casing over and to your parts washer or using gasoline and clean it up. Now we can easily access the carburetor for service. For the fuel tank, the bottom fuel line attaches to the bottom of the carburetor, and the top fuel line attaches to the top of the carburetor. And as mentioned before, the upper line on the oil reservoir attaches to the back of the carburetor here. And now would be a good time to remove your throttle linkage so it does not get lost. Simply pull it out towards the flywheel and it slides right out off the Z-bend. To remove the air filter, simply unclip the hole down on the side by pushing down and out, then remove the air filter. Now, using compressed air, you can cover this up and blow the surrounding dirt off from where we have to remove the carburetor from the intake bracket. Now, using a T25 Torx screwdriver, remove the two screws located here and here, holding the air filter assembly and the carburetor onto the intake. Now you can remove the entire air cleaner and carburetor assembly and split the two apart.